Someone's attached a boat anchor to the gold.
It's still going. Oh, it's almost at 17. Looking for 17 too. The VIX and the dollar is still holding strong. I wouldn't call them strong. They're a little more on the weaker end, but they are holding.
But I think this is it's a bit of a correction on gold, and then it's going to be longer term buys. Like I'll ride this one down to wherever it goes, and then when I see a turn, I will probably buy it and just hold it.
There you go. I like it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot.
Jameson, a famously smooth whiskey from a famously big family. Meet Jose, could be one of us. Even when he shows up uninvited, he's never empty-handed. You see, he's nearly...
Which one do you think it is? Give me a 1 if you think it's profits. Give me a 2 if you think it's the news. Give me a 3 if you think it's emotions. I'll see what you guys put in here. Sentiment, okay. I didn't write that, but that's pretty good. Expectations, sentiment, fear and greed, Stan's saying. Emotion, fear and loathing. Voice expectations, psychology, buybacks, okay. And now we're getting, as I put some numbers on the screen there, it's getting a little easier for you. Mostly 3s. Some of you are saying 1, 2, and 3, but mostly it's 3, short-term 3. Greed, yeah, greed's a good one. 1, 2, and 3, because some of you are thinking, oh, Trump, yes, Trump ringing the bell will help. Yeah, but I think most of you here seem to agree, pretty much everybody agrees, that it's actually number 3. And of course, Winston, yes, who's incredibly important. So if we can agree that in the short term, it is emotions that drive the market, it's not any of the real hard stuff, it's not the numbers, it's not the earnings, it's not the tweets, it's that stuff, then what would be the most beautiful thing for the stock market to do ever? Or for the world to do ever, for the stock market to go higher? Well, you'd have to have some sort of measure of emotions going through the roof. And look what we've got. Expectations for the next 12 months on stock prices to increase are at these levels here, that level there, that one. And have we been at that level since 1985 when my data begins? No, the French would say, which is pretty much what they say every time you ask them to do something. They just look at you and they go, no. Snarl at you and sort of imply that you are not worth stepping on, quite frankly. At least that's what happens to me when I'm in France. And I do shout at them in English, though, which probably doesn't help. So what does that say to you? That your momentum, your emotions, the market will be driven higher. Could something terrible happen? Yes, something terrible could happen. You know, a cat could get run over. That would be terrible. But I'm not sure you're going to love the French. I'm sure there are some nice ones somewhere, but they're probably emigrated. I'm being a bit harsh on the French this morning. Let's pick on somebody else next. So what are you going to do? Well, market's going to keep driving higher, but it'll only be some stocks, a few stocks that'll do all of the gains. Everything else will do absolutely nothing. So if you want to find those few stocks and tell me, and I'll tell you, it's actually very easy. It's really, really, really very easy. It's not rocket science. You can learn it where? In the masterclass. How do you get there? You get to felixfriends.org/get free. And what do you need for it? A notebook and half an hour. That's it. That's all there is to it. So watch it, and you will be wiser, my man. I'm your favorite German man. Probably not a tough list, is it? Is there a number 2? I very much doubt it. It's probably Adolf or something like that, right? The Brits are obsessed. So I showed you this yesterday. Do you remember this? Do you remember if you tuned in yesterday? I showed you this. And Donald J. Trump, I was going to say tweet, but I think he, what's his platform called? He truths. And he wrote, any company investing $1 billion or more in the United States of America will receive fully expedited approvals and permits, including environmental approvals, get ready to drill. Sorry, rock. And what happens one day later? Literally just one day after he puts this out. There's spammers in the chat. All those people who put all the threes in there, get rid of them. This is what happens the next day. Today, Exxon says they plan to build, wait for it, a power plant to use natural gas to power data centers directly. So they're not building a power plant for you and me. They're not going to connect it to the grid because that will take tons of permits. They're just going to build a power plant and they're going to connect it directly to a massive data center, like a an Amazon or a Meta or a Microsoft type data center. And have they ever done that before? No. Do they have power plants? Well, yes, but only to power their own installations. They don't actually have power plants. So do you think this is linked? Yeah. So there is a tremendous amount of activity happening because businesses are like, what? We're allowed to do stuff. We can do what we want to do without all this regulation in the way and without all the penalties, which is amazing, right? So love that. Okay, we've hobbled Raj Patel here, which well done, Fox. Well done. You can kick people out as well. You can ban them. You can be really evil if you like. So that's, to me, a little indicator of what's to come. We get a lot of those news items coming out and between now and sort of mid-January. And
overall, range bound still. Range bound short time frame control. Take a look at the third.
This whole thing was done in 7 days from the initial phone call. Went it on Wednesday.
We will continue to control and watch you clowns self-destruct. It's entertaining at this point, I guess. Wow. That was at 9 o'clock, 9:30 last night. Bros in my DMs. I don't know, man. If I was making 10 times what I make right now, that'd be like $5 million a month. I guarantee you I would not be on Instagram sending DMs to dudes. You know? I mean, no offense. Like, if you're into dudes, nothing wrong with that. But honestly, like, if I was making 10 times the amount of money that I was making right now, which would be about $5 million a month, you know, I don't know if I'd be spending any time on Instagram. We should hang out, but you probably wouldn't be allowed in the same clubs as me. Oh. Okay. What? I would love to know which club I would not be allowed into. Which one is that? Which club? One Oak. 11 in Miami. All right, hey. I'm a local at One Oak. I've got a table at the Fountain Blue. All right, every Friday night I am at 11. All right, you wouldn't even be allowed in there. You're so poor. You're so poor that you wouldn't even be able to go into my club. He got me, man. He got me good. All right. I think what's very important, what I would like to see is I want to see this break, right? I want to see this data, this candle, this 15-minute candle. This is when those numbers came out, right? Like, it's kind of like we've created kind of like a range before the open. All right. Does that make sense? Like, we've created this range before the market open with the data. So now it's like we're right in the middle of that range. So as a trader, we're kind of like, we need to wait and see where we end up. From that. So that's kind of, I think, a good plan, because if you look as well, We're also like, that's the hourly candle range as well, which was kind of a doji. We're in the middle of that. Let's not lose our profit. Amen. So kind of let's just see, you know, let's just see what happens here. What do you think for the opening? I don't know. I mean, it's very much like in the middle here. I'm leaning more towards the idea of a pullback here, but yesterday, I don't want to have any bias because yesterday we kept thinking it was going to pull back, and that motherfucker never pulled back. So we'll see. We got a pivot point to the downside at the 528s. We got the gap fill back up there, 21,800 area. So someone said, "Is that a bear flag?" I mean, it's a bear flag, 100%. You're not wrong. It could also kind of break out here to the upside. Reach up there, VWAPs at the 720s. Tricky move here, tricky move. So that's, I just, the fact that we have that data candle, that range basically set now, we're in the middle of that. Maybe we're a little bit below in the bottom of that, but good idea just to be patient. Could just be a lot of chop today after that big move up yesterday. Someone in the chat said after a big trend day, it doesn't normally trend again. If we look at the daily chart here, daily chart kind of maybe build out a bull flag here on the daily chart. Daily candle kind of do, and then maybe tomorrow, and then kind of see how that goes. If you guys haven't already hit that like button, it's free to like, free to subscribe. Subscribe now, then you get to find out whenever I go live. Sometimes I go live when you never even know. Surprise! I'm live. By the way, I pretty much after next Friday, I will not be I might do one little live stream here and there, but Christmas time, New Year's, I'm not going to be live streaming. Let's enjoy the holidays. Let's get it. We got 7 more days until I get my $500,000 payout, and that's all I got to do, right? That's all I got to do. Just get my $500,000 payout and retire. Yes, sir. Daddy wants to retire. Gold dropping hard. What else we got moving around here? The ES, everything's kind of just lining up right now. I wouldn't be surprised if this fucker just goes straight up at open. What is happening with my chart right now? What is this thing? The fuck is that thing? 2 minutes till market open. VWAP there at the 24/7. 24/7. Where did Trump go? Where did the Trump go? Want to see him ring the bell, baby. Donald Trump, ring the bell. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. Person of the year, Donald Trump. Time magazine. Gotta love it. What's funny is there's more women with him than there are men. And people always talk so much shit saying that he doesn't like women, but clearly, if you look through his history, a lot of his executives and a lot of the women, a lot of people that have worked for him are women. I'm actually right now looking to hire an executive assistant. Patrick Whelan, I need an executive assistant. I'm trying to hire like an older woman, kind of like, I don't want to say older, but like a 40 to 50-year-old woman kind of be the mom of Only Prop Firm's new warehouse. I didn't mean to say old, but someone with a little bit more experience. I don't need some fucking young, young kid. I need someone who's got experience. Chump's gonna ring the bell. Ring the bell, ring the bell. JD Vance over there talking to Ivanka. Oh, JD Vance, you getting a little close to Ivanka, Trump. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I wonder what Jared thinks. Here we go. It's time. Did he do it? He already rung it? I guess you don't ring it anymore. You just press the button. He pressed the button. Market is open. Let's go. Market just goes straight down at open. ES is right at that 680 pivot point. Nasdaq's dipping down here, but not selling yet just yet. Just like kind of slowly moving down here. The Dow is pushing straight up. Got that gap above us on the QQQ, on the NASDAQ here. Gap to the upside. There are so many lines on this chart right now, but we've got this like data high level up there, 730 area, which I feel like is kind of possible. I guess we got the lows and the highs. So the low right here at the 48s now. Like I said earlier, I want to see us kind of break out of this range. Just being patient. Market just open. No rush. You know, we're really not like, the sellers are not like, just, we're not dumping. We're just sitting right here. So patience, my friends. So far, market moving down here. But just like very slowly moving down. I don't trust it. I got a pivot point. The fuck's my pivot point? My pivot point indicator's not on there. Now we got a pivot point. Pivot points are back. That was weird. Is anybody else's Tradeovate lagging right now? Like my Tradeovate just literally just stopped moving for a second. Yeah, like I looked at Trading View and the market was already pushing up with a green candle, and Tradeovate was still showing a red candle. Brad said that I'm scaring you out of the short. Well, I mean, hey, all I said was it's not like we're not selling right now. We're just kind of like pulling back here very slowly. Not trying to scare you. I'm just pointing out the obvious here. Already pushing back up there. So, I don't know what to tell you. Not trying to scare anybody, just pointing out the obvious. Push back up there at 21 EMA now. Got the VWAP up there. The chop is real here. $21 EMA right now holding us down there. Will they take out this low next? Right back up again. Someone said bearish candle. Oh, God. They can't get it below this 60 area now. NASDAQ just holding up here at the 60 level. Another big wick on that candle from the 80 to the 60s. The chop. It's just hard to get short right here. If they get it back above that 80 level, I think then there's a possible push up there to the VWAP. There's it is, up above the 80s now. She wants it. Market is very just indecisive here. Kind of just doing exactly what we thought it would do in terms of just not really making a breakout inside of this range here. Or getting stuck inside that range, I guess we could say. Back to that pivot again. Nasdaq's sitting right there at that pivot point. ES is holding up. Nasdaq's holding up here. Will we squeeze up towards that VWAP next? Good Lord, Nasdaq. Look how tight this thing is. Oh God, now I just removed all my, how do I control Z? Put it back. Nasdaq holding on here. Will we squeeze? Man. The Chop Chop City. Nasdaq just holding on at that 60-70 level here now. Straight back up here once again. No breakout. Very tight little range here, so just sitting back, waiting, watching. Bum, 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 bum. Nasdaq's going absolutely nowhere right now, so just gotta wait. Gotta wait, people. Another little doji candle there on the 2-minute chart. If we lose this 60 area, do we go straight down? That data low is down there at the 49s. My Lord Jesus. Five-minute chart, kind of like if we get through that 90 area, we could break out to the upside, but that 94 would be the 15-minute range breakout here. back up there above that 70 area. Just holding on, baby. Holding on. Will this be the ripper? Take out all these wicks there above the 90s and then above 700s next. Got so many wicks right here. These just gotta like go. But I mean, we just been chopping here. VWAP right now at the 700 level. I'm not trading, guys. I told you, I'm fucking waiting. Everybody in the chat, relax. What do you want me to do right now? God. People in the chat, Patrick, why aren't you trading? What the fuck do you want me to trade right now? Bup. ES is trying to move down. NASDAQ's right here at this pivot point. ES is making new lows right now. Dow's pulling back. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. NASDAQ, what are you going to do? Just flat. I mean, if you look at the QQQ right now, it's going absolutely nowhere. Oh my God. Starting to push. Will they go through the 90s there next? VWAP there at the 700s. The 90 area has been denied over and over. Good Lord. Pushed up to the top of the range, right back to the bottom of the range again. Still no break out of the 15-minute range. Broke the 15-minute range there now. Do we move down? Just chop it right back up, maybe. if we break through that data low there at the 650s, I think that we can move all the way back down there to the into the 500s. Or just chop forever also. Sorry, it's not a data low. That 830 low, 836 low, not the data low. My bad. And it pops back up again. All right, all right. Crazy. Let's tap 90s again, baby. Come on, one more time, just for fun. Those 15-minute candles, big wicks, big wicks. The gap close puts us all the way back up there to the 800s from yesterday. Do you use the Fibonacci? I do not use Fibonacci. Kind of just think about it, maybe 50% pullbacks, but I don't really like draw Fibonacci lines or anything like that. All right, NASDAQ. What the fuck? This is worse than the overnight trades. You could have traded the Asian market a bit better than this.
Welcome to Top Step TV. Up next is that Hogue guy and that other guy. Oh, yeah. Horn. Hogue and Horn.
Hello, traders, family, friends, people of Earth, pets, non-pets, and everything you'd like to pet. Welcome back here. Welcome back to Top Step TV. This is Opening Call. He's Barbarino. I'm Horshack. And boy, we've got a show for you today. So get yourself ready here. Need some participation in our community chat. So if you are new here, welcome aboard. Grab a seat. Grab a front row seat because that's all we've got here, our front row seats. And I'd like to say hello to our good friend, yes, our trading mentor, the man with the plan, our very own market guru, John the Hoagland. Johnny, good morning, brother.
What's up, Horshack? How you doing? Good to see you.
Mr. Carter, Mr. Carter.
It's good to see you, Eddie. Good to see everybody. Welcome to the Opening Call, Thursday, December the 12th. As always, our focus here is always going to be on seeking accurate context in these markets, remembering our risk and remaining patient in our trading. Good morning to the top of the chat. Dan Trader on a streak, top of the chat again. Leaders only. Gigi, good morning. Anastasios, one time. Infinitely, you are in the right place. Nick Nichols, John Jones in the top here. Good morning. Rock Solid Results, Rich, Man Cave Trades, and Chris Flores. Good morning to all of you. Very happy you are here. Eddie, what's going on?
What's going on? Well, we got some news here, but our lovely educator Anne Marie Band says it's a good day for a good day. I'm all for that one. It's a good day for a good. Yes. All right. Let's get into some business. U.S. stock futures slipped slightly today, handing back some of the previous gains after the tech-heavy NASDAQ closed above the 20,000 level for the first time ever. Dow contract down about 0.2%. We did see the S&P down 0.2%. And also, the NASDAQ fell about 0.2%. NASDAQ composite surged almost 1.8% yesterday, topping the 20,000 threshold and posting an all-time high. It was after the November Consumer Price Index report came in line with expectations, leading traders to anticipate another rate cut for the Fed at its policy meeting next week. Big talk about that, and we're looking forward to that next week. The S&P, the broad market S&P added 0.8, while the blue chip Dow underperformed, falling 0.2. Yesterday, we saw that, too. The NASDAQ, S&P sort of dancing to their own beat. Usually they correlate, work together. Eventually, the markets did get that way. But United States inflation revealed a 0.3% increase in consumer prices month on month, annual growth of 2.7. Yes, our friends at Bitcoin. Bitcoin yesterday, I think it hit about 101. But today it's surging again, extending an overnight rebound as a risk appetite was boosted in line for U.S. consumer inflation data. The world's largest cryptocurrency, if you're just crawling out from under a rock, it is Bitcoin, has now recouped all of its losses over the past week while appearing to have broken out of the 90,000, 100,000 range in recent weeks. That's what I've got so far. John, what else you got to add to this day of news?
Well, economic information this morning at 7:15, the ECB announced their rate statement. They were expected to lower rates from 3.4% to 3.15%, and then that is what they did. But the big story today is, of course, going to be the PPI numbers that did come out a little bit hot. Markets liked the CPI numbers, a little bit maybe inflationary in these PPI numbers. The PPI year over year was expected to rise from 2.4% to 2.6%. That came out hot at 3%. Month over month, also higher than expected. They were looking for 0.2%. They came out 0.4%. The core PPI year over year also came out hotter than expected. They were looking for it to rise from 3.1% to 3.2% in November. That came out hotter than expected at 3.4%. The only one that came out as expected was the core PPI month over month, which was expected to drop from 0.3% to 0.2%, and that is where it came out. So those numbers a little hot, a little contrary to what we saw yesterday in the CPI numbers. These PPI numbers are a little bit longer look out. Then we got 9:30, the nat gas numbers this morning, 10:30, 4 and 8 week bill auctions, and at noon, a 30-year bond auction. We will be sure to be paying attention to that, of course. Everybody's favorite store, at least one of my wife's favorite stores, Costco, releases their earnings after the close today. The VIX is pretty much flat. 13.7 last I checked. It was 13.79 yesterday at this time. The yield on the dollar index a little bit lower this morning, 106.62, but it was 106.4 yesterday, and the yield on the 10-year hanging flat, right about 4.28 last I checked, 4.23% at this time yesterday's. So we've got, as far as economic numbers and expected economic numbers, anything can happen, but those are the ones we know about. Eddie, dude, where's your crude?
My crude, gosh, my crude. U.S. crude futures gained 0.3%. That was our friend, the WTI Brent, rising also 0.3. Now, prices steady after rising sharply in the prior session on expectations of a tighter global supply. That was after the U.S. was seen as preparing for more oil sanctions against Russia. Prices were also sitting on gains made after top importer China signaled more incoming economic support earlier this week. Yesterday, we caught her. Yes, we caught her speaking. U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen stated yesterday that a weaker global oil market could present a chance for additional action against Russia's energy sector. On the flip side, yes, our friends at OPEC and their allies cut the forecast for the oil demand growth in 2024 and 2025 yesterday. It's fifth consecutive downward revision, and government inventories, as Johnny said, oil inventories expected here for the week of December 6th. That's what we got for news here, but what do we got for tip of the week? James, can you post it for us? Yes, a trading plan. Have a plan. This is going to help you avoid FOMO. If you don't know what FOMO is, I'm going to tell you. It's fear of missing out. It's the panic. It's when you hit that panic button. It's when you hit that reckless button. A plan helps you stick to your setups, opportunities that meet your criteria, avoiding unnecessary trades. Also, having a trading plan is going to limit revenge trading. If you are committed to your trading plan, that's one thing I got to stress. Sure, we can all have a trading plan, but a lot of us sort of veer off that path, right? We have to commit to it. Whatever our trading plan is, stick to it. It's going to get you where you want to go. And that's what I've got, Johnny.
Very good, Eddie. Very good. Part of that trading plan is contingencies. When I sit down for a day of trading, when I look at the markets that I'm thinking about getting involved in, getting into trading, and I will set up different hypotheses for what I think might happen. And when one of those hypotheses begins to ring true, then I place that part of my trading plan, that strategy into place in that context, in that particular market. So preparing for when things don't go the way you expect should be part of your trading plan. Have a couple of different hypotheses. When one of those hypotheses ring true, you'll have a roadmap for how to successfully trade that trading day. Always have contingencies in your trading plan.
Beautiful, beautiful. Hey, coming up, fast markets here right after we do charts with Johnny. Anne-Marie and Mohammed, I do see that Anne-Marie's limo pulled up, and Mohammed's private jet should be arriving at the airport very soon. But we got those two coming in for fast markets. But, John, what do you got for our contestants today?
All right, as always, starting with the E-mini S&Ps. Now, we should all be well aware that the equities markets are in rollover. So it would appear that the S&Ps have established a rollover range, much more so than the NASDAQ. We'll see that very shortly. But so far, we have been maintaining inside of last week's high and last week's low. this is going to favor the traders that are trying to establish or accomplish a cheap or profitable rollover. So this is kind of what we would expect in rollover. Now, next Tuesday is probably going to be switch day, where we will switch from the December contract to the March contract. Overall, yesterday on that whole rally, we added 24,000 contracts overall. We added 30,000 contracts in the in the March contract, meaning that we saw some decent rollover action happening yesterday. If they bought the March contract first and then sold the D's contract later, they were making money on that rollover. So a pretty decent day for the roll yesterday, even with a directional market. I think they probably did a pretty good job of it. So again, we're inside a rollover range. While the volume is still in the December contract, the open interest increase yesterday again did occur in the March contract. So we're still trading December because that's where the volume is. Where is price in the area of the rollover range? It's right in the middle of it. We had some important numbers come out yesterday. We had some important numbers come out today. It's going to take the day to find out how traders are going to digest that information. And again, to me, that information was a little bit hot and might increase the probabilities of a rate cut next Wednesday. The market is going to like that, but probably not going to like the PPI numbers. Which one is going to win will be something we'll find out throughout the day today. Now, let's take a quick look at the 30-minute chart. All right. So yesterday, opening, the CPI numbers came out. The market opened at the high from the previous day, rejecting value and continuing to push to the upside. Today, when the numbers came out, overnight inventory was already a little bit short. The knee jerk was really to the downside. We looked at the low from yesterday's session, the IB low, which was the session low from yesterday, and at least we found a little bit of a bounce off of that. I'm looking, at traders and investors early in this market, looking to see this market continue to push to the downside. We're opening in range and below value. In range, below value. We had a very small overnight range until the PPI numbers came out. That expanded, of course, the range, which it usually is going to do. Right now, we're holding below VWAP. VWAP is looking to the downside, looking like we did not reach all-time highs in the S&Ps yesterday. The S&Ps have been presenting weaker than the NASDAQ. We're going to see what we can find out for our markets here. Looking now into the NASDAQ. So the NASDAQ did put in a new all-time high yesterday, trading above weekly kickoff high. Open interest jumped by 9,000. Now, a little bit of a difference in the NASDAQ and the S&Ps, which probably might be part of why the NASDAQ has been presenting as higher. Now, that we added 6,700 in the December contract, and we added 2,300 in the March contract. We added open interest into an expiring month. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. There's a little bit of kerfuffleation in that, if you ask me. So weekly kickoff high is going to be, I would think, somewhat pivotal today. We're always looking for the longer time frame participants to make decisions in and around those levels. And when you look at what happened last night, there was very little decision made, even with that increase in open interest at this important inflection level. Is the NASDAQ setting up its rollover range, which again would favor those that have big positions that need to roll out of the December into the March contract? Let's take a look at the 30-minute chart. All right. So yesterday, very similar to the S&Ps, but again, we did put in new all-time highs. The S&Ps put in a new all-time high in extended trading hours. No, it actually was the NASDAQ that put it in extended trading hours. The S&Ps did not put in the new all-time high previously in the extended trading hours. So it makes sense. When the market puts in new all-time highs or new highs, recent highs in the extended trading hour session. They tend not to be lasting highs. Well, now we've done it. We've put in the all-time high in the regular trading hour session. Overnight inventory is short. The PPI numbers came out. Initially, the knee jerk was to the downside. We are opening in range and below value from yesterday. Here's another example of how the NASDAQ is holding up better than the S&Ps. S&Ps looked below yesterday's low. NASDAQ hasn't come anywhere near it. So similar thing yesterday. We opened in range, rejected value, continued to push to the upside, adding open interest. The auction looks like it's doing well, but remember, its rollover in volume and open interest can be very blurry. That's why I'm kind of looking at the 2 front months here, trying to balance open interest as to how the rollover is doing. And I think yesterday, at least in the S&Ps, was a pretty successful day for those trying to roll over into new positions from the December to the March contract. Where are we today? We're right at last week's high. Look at what happened in the NASDAQ last night. We closed above weekly kickoff high. All right, well, that's a positive, but as soon as we closed, the market came right back to weekly kickoff high, and it walked that tightrope until the London Open, when sellers started to come in, overnight weaker hand sellers holding positions. We don't see continuation to the downside. We may get better trade location. We may get a move back towards where the market opened up last night, which is pretty much basically weekly kickoff high. It's going to be an interesting trading day today in the equities, as they always are. What about crude oil? I mean, crude oil is, again, a difficult trade, if you ask me. Maybe even if you ask others. I don't know, but very range bound. We've been just going from low to high, high to low, high to low, high to low. I can't wait till I can stop saying that. But again, we were looking yesterday looking for an opportunity at last week's high and at this 100 session moving average. Well, the market really kind of got there. It didn't offer a big downside opportunity possibly until today. So we're up near the upper extreme of the area of balance. Crude oil is also now in rollover. It rolls over every month. It's a bit of a pain in the butt, but it is in rollover. Yesterday's rally, that big rally, guess what we did in open interest? We lost about 500 in open interest. It is in rollover. In January, the current front month, we lost 34,000 in open interest. So another big, probably successful day for the people rolling from the January to the February. If you bought the Feb first and then sold the Jan, you're in good shape. So almost an even roll, with January losing 34,000 and the February adding about 24,000. Well, the future months adding about the same. So decent roll. We're up near the high of the area of balance. Overall, range bound still. Range bound, short time frame control. Take a look at the 30. All right, crude did not like the PPI numbers either. It looks like the market has opened, didn't even look at the overnight high, looked at yesterday's high. Now coming back into the range here. Was a double distribution trend day, possibly creating the probability of potential repair through the body of yesterday's profile. One of the things that we do want to kind of point out is we did put a late spike to the upside late in the session yesterday. A short spike, the base of that late spike is 70.24. Those of you that have been around know what the late spike is, but the late spike is a push away from the previous range right at the end of the day, where the market closes up there and doesn't really have time to show acceptance through time. Opening above the base of the late spike indicates potential acceptance of higher pricing. Opening below the base of the late spike indicates potential acceptance of lower pricing. To further complicate things today, crude oil opened at the base of the late spike. It held it the better part of the evening and the morning. Now it's looking like we've kind of given up that possibility of acceptance of higher pricing and falling into potential repair area here. Now, my favorite market this week has been gold. And wow, look at that. All right, so the breakout continuation did very well yesterday. We added another 13,000 in contracts and open interest on a decent push to the upside, on decent volume. So volume has been increasing and open interest has been increasing. I think we got a little bit hot. We ran this a little bit hot. Really, my first target was this swing high up here around 2750 approximately. We achieved that yesterday. This market could use a pullback. This pullback, I believe, is going to be healthy in the long run for this market to possibly continue to move higher. We don't know for sure, but there are some weaknesses in structure down below that the market seems to be targeting as we speak. We've got the naked point of control from 2 days ago, 271160. We just hit that. We just hit that 271190 within 3 ticks of it. So we're starting to see overnight inventory continuing to get paid, bringing more sellers into this market. Probably the late to the party longs yesterday are the ones that are lighting this fire to the downside. There's still lots of weaknesses in structure down below that this market can target. I mean, anything can happen. We've got another naked point of control down below here at 2689.5 that could be targeted. There's a gap. I mean, there's lots of things down below that this market can target. After a very healthy upside move, the downside rip is not unusual. The profile yesterday, the double distribution trading day, double distribution day to the upside. Now, one of the things I want to mention about gold, and something that maybe we can talk about one day during group coaching, and I know Christy was asking a lot about Delta yesterday. Since the 26th of November, this area, this indecision, this whole balance area here, all from since the 26th of November, every day has ended with negative delta with an increase in open interest. Negative delta, increase in open interest. Negative delta, increase in open interest. There were longer time frame buyers in the market this entire time. And when we broke out, the shorts, more buyers came in and really started to push this market higher. Yesterday's delta was negative 4,400 on an up day with an increase in open interest. There were still buyers in this market and probably longer time frame buyers. They're not going to sweat. They're not as price sensitive as we are unless we get back down below weekly kickoff high 2684. I believe that is the area that they would be likely to protect. But again, that is something we can probably talk about during group coaching one of these days. I have a wonderful example from one of the cleanest examples I've seen of this was back in gold in 2022. Some of you have seen it. Maybe this is something we can revisit during group coaching one of these days. Folks, let's always remember to take a deep breath. Do a little meditation. Do something to get yourself centered. Remember to remain humble, grateful, creative, and centered in your trading. And every day, pray for peace. Let's have a great session today, folks.
Beautiful. Remember, slow things down, take your time moving forward, eliminate FOMO, greed, stop chasing markets, wait for the best entries, and remember, small profits do add up. Coming up here, fast markets, Mohammed in a new expressive funded account locked in an impressive 4,600 yesterday. Anne Marie zeroing in on the right strategy to find her edge. She took a little loss yesterday, $318 down across 3 combines. And stick around here. Fast markets coming up.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Here we go.
And speaking of being right back, our VMix platform is frozen. We're going to do a hard restart. Look for a new YouTube link coming soon. We'll be back.
Yikes. Okay.
See you soon.
All right. We'll be back.
Turn on CNBC. He's about to ring.
Meet Asana, a work management platform that helps companies get more done and save more time. Teams can stay connected while they track updates and visualize timelines. Asana, a smarter way to work. Try it for free today at asana.com.
So, how's it going, Hobie? Would you look at that? Would you look at that? Would you look at that? I can't believe I'm looking at that right now.
This market is absolutely wild, guys.
Set up my earpiece here.
Oof.
Yeah, okay. Oh boy.
What we were just referencing was, would you look at this? Would you look at Apple? I mean, Apple right now down 0.21%. Up, but heading to the downside right now, giving it back. I mean, there's 250. We tried it a couple times trying to hold 249, but no, 249.50 giving it up, and now all the way to the downside. And it's funny, we're talking about, would you look at that? And it's because Obi and I had sort of talked about, and Obi had mentioned before, and he's going to talk about the trade, but this breakdown there to the downside right now. We've seen some fails there the other day when Tesla finally failed 400 and fell back through. Now, obviously, Tesla's much higher. We'll talk about some of these positions as we go. I have to get in and out. I still am into a few things. Bitcoin as well, Google today, Tesla, Palantir. So a few names that I'm in. We'll figure this all out. Thank you for the midday show over there from our guys. All right, Palantir. I got to get a stop out right now because we're starting to get a little bit higher right now. As look at all these shorts. We got in some, but we just got stopped out at the high, and then it fell back into 72. So I'm trying to short this high again right now on Palantir. It's up 2%. I had thought that we would fail in and around here. That's sort of this drop zone right now. So we're getting ready to punch out as Palantir if it takes 72.50. But for right now, we are short that name. That's my trades. IBIT were long as well. A couple good buys in Bitcoin. But yeah, right now, good market here today. Up 2%, all-time highs all over the place.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And that drop zone is definitely coming in on Apple there. And yeah, that's what I was saying. Would you look at that too?
Yeah.
Because I mean, the break of trend, would you look at that? The back through 250, failure to follow through, lower high in the 250 halves right there. I did flip short off of that, which is slightly questionable. I told myself I wouldn't be shorting all-time highs, but certain price action is just so enticing. It's so juicy, and I'm just like, wow, like this leg is about to potentially fail to follow through off of a key level like 250, and guess what? I cover everything just slightly above VWAP, and then we had a consolidation, which is fine. It's okay. Decent. It's an okay trade, but the mistake here is not getting back in on this consolidation underneath the 250 or even this pop into 249 halves for the continuation to the downside, because sure, the market is running up like crazy, but Apple clearly is breaking trend. Now, this is something I was pointing out to Sean. I was just like, look at these 15-minute bars, man. I was like, this is absolutely beautiful. Like, yeah, the range is really wide, but we're holding prior bar low like clockwork, and all of a sudden, guess what? That 250 comes right in as a prior bar low, makes a lower high, and then look at the selling that comes in after that bar is broken, going to the downside. Again, distinctly different from what the market is doing. But we know Apple's going to do its own thing as well if it chooses to, and that selling does come in quite aggressively. So reversion to VWAP, check. Full on 100% V-shape reversion. I did not have that in mind, but here's the thing. There was no real reason there's no strong reason to cover the whole position is what I'm trying to get better at. It's just like, all right, well, you know you're in a trade that's working. And it's giving you everything that you want. It's showing you everything that you want. So what reason do I really have to cover the position unless and until it shows me a significant reason to, to either go the other way or to, just to get out of the position and reassess. So no real reasons, especially if we're trading below that 250. And look, if the market comes in, guess what? I think we're likely to test this day low on Apple here in and around these 247 halves. Is that exactly what it is? Opening range low, I have, 247.55. We're trading at 248s.
Oh, come on.
And teens right now after printing a high of day of 250.80. So we never followed through on that. We never got through 251. We saw all the volume and the chop that was happening. It was winding up into the 250. The 250 comes. It breaks aggressively, yes. But look at that slam dunk all the way down into 250. Double test, breaks that, breaks the trend as well, breaks prior bar. Lots of confluence for the short on Apple. And here comes a market with a little bit of a curl as well. So let's see. Maybe we aren't too late to get in on the spider, but I have no idea. I'm just patiently waiting for the next trade.
I'm like piecing out of this Palantir. I'm getting pretty nervous. I mean, we're short just here right now. Just trying to make back what we lost on this short earlier right now for Palantir. I mean, yeah, I'm with you. I think the market is in trouble, but I don't know if I'm in the right stocks. I'm not losing any confidence. I'm just like, why. I mean, we're still in Tesla. Tesla's a $14 winner right now, but it's more like Palantir right now that I'm trying to think about, because my stop is going to be at here at 40s, and then we're short at 14s. So it's like I have like 15 to 20, 30 cents worth of risk here, and it's really not dropping below this 72 level. So a spot of worry for sure. We did take out some more IBIT. We're going to go over to Shreve in 1 second. We just got out some more Bitcoin right there at 30s. So that's going to be a level that we're going to try to look at right now, again, at the 200 period. So a couple good reloads there. All right, let's go find out what's on the board, because, you know, we could talk about all of our positions, which I'm sure we'll do. But let's go talk about something that you're interested in, Shreve, at the green screen.
Welcome, everyone, to the Afternoon Rundown, the show where you decide what we talk about every afternoon. The Obe and Sean are ready to go, ready to look at the tickers as decided by you. So join us during How to Trade during the midday and get into the chat and vote for your favorite tickers every day. We have a poll every hour. We'll start looking here at the triple Qs. The major averages all in green territory except the Dow, marginally red, down 0.09, but the best of them all, the NQ up 1.83, but as Sean mentioned, coming off the highs, the ES just marginally below that 6,100 point area, up 0.83, and the Russell above 2,400 again, but up about 3/4 of a point last time I looked. Let's look at the first ticker, though, as decided by you, Tesla, making all-time highs, and that has this man very, very rich over here, Elon Musk, the first person to reach a net worth of over $400 billion as Tesla stock hits an all-time high, up over 3% at the moment. Goldman Sachs did maintain their neutral rating on Tesla today, but did boost the price target about $95 up into $345. And Tesla's China sales, guys, continue to recover, with the Model Y accounting for over 60% of their November sales. So all in all, fantastic day for Tesla.
Oh boy.
Sorry, my bad. But anyways, you need to get more buying power, I think is what we're talking about.
Yeah, I think I would like some. Thank you very much.
Man. No, I was just saying how well Obi's trading. We were just talking about where do we have
Well is a questionable word, but
okay. Well,
could definitely be better.
Fine, well, you can question it, but I can say it. So how well Obi's been trading, he said, well, max buying power position here maybe on Apple. And I'm like, max buying power? Like, that's like, and then I showed him what my buying power was, and he told me what his was, and it was, oh boy.
Yeah, I was just like, oh boy, send some over this way.
Like, you're better than me. You should have more than me.
I don't know about that.
Not about 100 times less. So anyways, we will, we'll get going on that, Obi. I think it's not right. It's not all about the size, Obi. I mean, it's about the motion of the ocean here with the stocks, and you gotta pick the right stocks. I mean, that's the first thing. And I think we did today, man. Today was a big one for us. We hit the cash register on that very first name, and that's going to be Tesla, right? I mean, Tesla today was a great stock. It was pretty choppy early. I don't know. Obi could talk about the hold through here, but like I couldn't. So I wound up. We got in.
I know my subscribers are struggling with credit card debt. When I was relying heavily on credit to dig myself.
Look at it just holding the 50 to the 200, the 50 and the 200. I'm like, I'm just going to throw a stink bid in here. And if it gets down to 136, I'm just going to add to it because I keep never adding to this position of mine in my long term. So I put that in when I see it. And what does it do? It breaks out to 50 and goes running today. So that stink bid is absolutely not going to happen for me on our. But look at the consolidation. Like, why wouldn't it break out? Technically, this looks fantastic. Right in between both moving averages for a week, you could have been buying this, the 200 period moving average. You wait late, and then it goes. And I waited late.
Oh, show. Okay. Yeah, there's so many names to go in there and dip by. We did just get out some more AMD as it just came back in. So again, now we have 3% on that one. IBIT now, IBIT's almost $1 over there. So Options Joe is very, very excited about that one, Joey Options, because we've talked about IBIT and holding on to crypto. It's really nice to see 102 coming into play right now. So let's go, man. This is right here. It's an easy peasy play. We took it off the sticky note. It gave us the exact price right there, 57.25. So we'll see it. Just wick that. I just put it at 06. You see? So there's another example there of chasing the bid ask. Like, we could have just punched out right there. We only have a small piece left. All right, SMCI, let's go, man. Ring the register now for that one. It just got super excited again, and we had fallen out one more time of our trade. And what I mean by that is we should not, this short right here, if we're going to try to teach everybody, this short was unnecessary. Right, if you come over to the screen, I'll show you guys. This short right there, unnecessary. So this one, fine. We didn't get a full, I tried to punch short there, admittedly, but because it was SSR, it didn't. It hung on the offer. I was able to cancel. We didn't get it. Then when it ripped back up, I was like, oh yeah, this level looks okay. So we wanted the short, so we took it there, only to get blown out once it finally took that level. I was like, we're wrong. But then look what happens. Like, we become patient again, as we talked about this. It's why Tesla worked today. It's why IBIT worked, because it just came right into our position. But you know, being patient, AMD was a perfect example. We waited for that 132 to come in. And so there it is. There's the 200 period and the 50 period. We wait for it, and it just falls right there like no problem down to the downside there, as if it didn't even go up, right? And so anyways, that was the mistake. I'm fine with that one. Glad we didn't get it all, because it would have made this even worse of a trade. But right back in there for SMCI, putting it roughly flat on the day. We are waiting for more. We just got a 20 fill. I'm in the teens, and then I still think it breaks lower through 38. So, I mean, I like SMCI to the short today for sure. IBIT is right back up. I'm pretty sure we'll get this. You know what? I'm just going to put in here. You know what? Let me just put in 02. I'm doing it again, by the way, right there on IBIT. So now I'm going to wait at 02 and probably miss it again. Do not. Oh, my God. I could have punched. Same mistake again. Okay. Good thing it's not on a lot of shares. All right. Hopefully we get this IBIT fill. But right now, you know, you got to spend your money somewhere. Let's go find out what's going on with the exchange rates.
Dollar strength all week, guys. Back in action once again today. If you missed it, pre-market, we brought it to you at 8:30. Make sure you're with us every single day. Producer prices coming in hotter than expected. Remember yesterday, CPI basically flat across the board, no change whatsoever. Producer prices, PPI this morning comes in a slight uptick, 0.4 versus 0.3 on the month over month overall. Was expected to be 3% in November, a slight uptick. So guess what? We're hearing from Jerome Powell coming up next week, the 18th, the next interest rate decision. So we'll get a read from the Fed on what they think. But a lot of opinions. I was reading this morning after that PPI print, a little bit more cautious coming on the back of what is expected to be 2 in a row there. I mean, CPI didn't follow through, but what was expected to be 2 in a row back to the upside. There's the dollar, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now 5 days in a row, straight back to the upside. Basically anything against the dollar going to be down on the day. We did touch 108, if you remember, and change going back to the end of November. So 106.9, 107 coming into play right now for the DXY, guys. So multi-week lows, basically, for anything but the dollar right now.
You know, we were just sort of saying the banks here in Canada are like, recommend everybody, excuse me, recommend to everybody that you make sure you renew. Rates are going rates aren't going to get cut. Then they do a double pump. The Bank of Canada, it is what it is when everyone knows you're in a rate hiking cycle, or rate cutting cycle, not hiking cycle, I should say. So here we are, NVIDIA, every single time it breaks out resistance, we get out and we look for that reversion back in. Like for every one win you get a stop out, and it's now trending higher lows into a flat top break on NVIDIA. So either it breaks back underneath the trend or we just don't trade it. Tesla wants no part of a VWAP bounce. Again, like it did it for you once. It doesn't want to do it for you twice. It's now headed for, it just looks like it's headed for a break at that 428. So I don't know if we're going to get the reload on Tesla. Like for me, a frustrating morning, Adobe can't hold the bottoms. It's been the Tesla long that's worked, and it's a Tesla long I'm not getting back into. I was patient for it to hold the 420. We got it the one time it held the 420, and now we're trying to get some kind of a breakout the top or a play back into VWAP. Long NVIDIA, well, I never came in looking for a long NVIDIA, so I didn't want to change plan. And it's still red and at VWAP. So it's not really giving me a long setup on NVIDIA. That's why I'm not going long into it yet. And the market is still consolidating up here. So overall, like you can still lose the bid, shorts become valid again. Like you're in a decision point where I'm not going to take this and go long a stock that I had a short idea on or that I think is relatively weak. To me, that just doesn't make any sense. And we're still in a zone where I want to be looking only for my long setups that I like long in the first place. If they're showing strength, then I want to continue to work with those. Like Tesla still looks like a long to me. Nvidia, it has to prove it, and I'm not at that point just yet. And then the other one, which I've been patient on. I haven't made a trade on Alphabet. Alphabet's now holding VWAP. Suddenly, this looks much better. Alphabet wicks the bottom. It never got to 191. I thought that would have been the low today. Never gets there, holds the higher low, and you're working back toward this breakout still valid. Like, it's still very valid now that we're holding VWAP to be able to go red to green over on Alphabet. So it's either this or Tesla for the long, for myself at least. And Tesla doesn't seem to want to give us VWAP again. And if it doesn't, my order is set for the breakout of the high of the day.
All right. Yeah. So just back over here, just real quick. So IBIT, haha, funny guy there. We got out at 57.90. We actually wind up losing. We don't lose anything, but we could have gotten out up there at 58. And we were being stubborn and trying to get the offer, which was not good there. So we just punched out anyways at the end of the day. There,
ridiculous.
So, all good on that one there for IBIT. I mean, IBIT. So right now we're just kind of have done really well there. I mean, Tesla is going to be big for us. IBIT's going to be big for us. And then the other trade that is going to be, well, P&L number one will be, they'll all be very, very equal right now as far as AMD, IBIT, and Tesla are all concerned. SMCI, we're just waiting for this. I mean, we just got a bunch of we got 18s, we got 20s, we got 22s off of this push. So we're short 55. So that was a nice little move to the downside, but it's not over yet for sure. Let's check out Ryan.
Don't look.
Yeah.
What do you think the tap is on TTAN?
Oh, man. Titan. Okay, it was 144, so I'm going to say it's higher. So I'm going to go with 154.50.
$200.
No.
This is.
Are you sure I didn't look there, Ramin? Are you sure I didn't?
No, this is actually ridiculous. Like, come on, and it's a factor of there's still only 250,000 shares into the open, which is an infinitesimally small number.
$200.
It's a $71 issue. The tap, it just went from 200 to 268. It's now gone full. Okay, I can't see. It's gone full nonsense. Tesla just broke and is probably going to be a fail break. It's absolutely ridiculous there. So Tesla just broke to 28, and we'll see what happens. But no, if I wasn't taking it before, I am obviously wanting zero part of that opening on Titan or whatever the heck it's called. Tesla broke to 28, but if it's not going right away. What the heck? Oh, sticky keys? No. Okay. No, I thought I disabled that.
I know, that's the worst
that's
when
fine.
they show up.
Yeah, I got to double check
too much, and all of a sudden it's like you on,
No, like that's the sticky key thing is one of those features. Like I swear I got that. It happened the other day, and I thought I got rid of it again. So Tesla broke the 428. I'm getting some out the $0.50 because it's not really going that fast, and that's where my out is. So if you go here's 427.5. I'm taking this break with a stop underneath that local high. For 50 pennies. So when it gets to 50 cents, we're going to take some out. When it gets to $1, we're going to take some out. And then if it gets to 430, we're definitely taking some. I don't know about when.
You don't think so?
But just I'm trying to put into context how ridiculous that Titan tap is, but I can't actually think of an IPO that was this ridiculous in a very long time.
Hopefully it slows down.
Yeah, like if it opens up closer to like 100.
What did you say it was?
It was two.
Well,
no, it was 200.
Now. It's 250 now.
It's 250 now. So this is ridiculous.
It's not going to open up at that price.
That is ridiculous.
It's not. If you come over here right now, I mean, Neil just showed it again. Anyway,
I don't even know what to say to that.
I don't think it's opening at that price. We can't do anything about it. You can't short it right now. You just have to sit there and wait, right? And I mean, I think that's unfortunately something that
Tesla's retesting. This might be a fail break.
Okay, yeah, so I'm still on Tesla here looking at this as well. 428 move upside there. Just gets as high as 429 and change. But this is what happened to us yesterday, man. A lot of this is like you got to
it's back under the 50.
Yeah.
I'm out. The break, I think it wicked the high of 429.44. I took out less than half.
Damn you, Tesla.
So it's kind of more of like a flattish trade. But again, if you're trying to hold, for me, if I'm trying to hold for 430s and a bigger win there, then I don't mind just getting out of that one. If it holds a consolidation above, great. But the other day, and I'm just going to show you, the other day, this is the 400 break. It ends up down at like a 380. And if you fought this you got absolutely shellacked. So the breakout trade initially works for you. You scalp it out. If we end up holding above and consolidating above, that's a different trade. You know, like I don't mind. Like my style of trading is always going to be don't get rinsed on this. If it pulls back into 420, if it pulls back here, that's a different trade than taking a breakout up here. You know, like make sure you're not holding breakouts forever. Like it might end up working, great. We'll find our way back into it. If we're going to 430, there's gonna be plenty of opportunities to get it back in to the upside. I don't like getting caught in traps, and if that's gonna be the case, we can patiently wait for another entry. Google's not holding VWAP, even though the market's strong. Like the market's holding up here, so I'm gonna keep looking at Tesla because it's the one that's trending up. Like I don't see what else is giving you that trend trade. It's certainly not Alphabet. It wasn't Apple, although that could definitely be changing. Okay, Apple's actually holding out pretty nicely here, although it's got a bit of a, I don't know what you want to call that formation. Maybe a chartered market technician will tell me what this looks like. It's kind of a bull flag, but you're making lower highs into it. So Apple could still make its run, but Tesla, still the one that I want to look for that long. And even if 28 didn't quite work out the way I would have liked it.
Yeah, Tesla, yeah, it's still there, right? It's still there right now. So, all righty then. Thank you for another great show, of course, here today. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. I mean, how many do we wind up getting there at the end of the day? 1.4K. So thank you so much for all of that. We're just going to wait, man. And we've been doing our own damn thing right here as well. Our style so far today has been to be very, very focused. Only 4 names today for us. That's very, very similar to what we've been doing. And it's been working out. So there's SMCI. We're going to hold out for this one. I don't have any more bids now until the floor. So hopefully we get to 38, and then we'll just view it from there. That's going to be my next play there for SMCI. As far as IBIT is concerned, we've already rang the register on this one. This will be PNL number 1 for me today. No more offers on that one either. We're going to go hit the pool and see if we can get some little laps in there. It's 11 o'clock. Maybe it's a little bit late today to take any new positions on IBIT, but we're going to throw it over to the guys. I just want to show you that 58.25 was a spot right there, just because we're still in it, looking for areas to possibly get something out, but IBIT right there at 58.25. That was the level of concern. So if it breaks through there, I think you can probably hold that for that nice little long, but until then, good luck. What are you guys doing today? Options, more. All right. Trading options, selling, buying, all of that. Plus, they're taking questions throughout the whole midday. So, all right, man, there goes Tesla again, back through 428. AMD trying to go back up to the upside. IBIT now $1. SMCI. It's going to be a fun one. All right, it's 11:01. All right, good day trading there today. We'll throw it back over to the side, and we'll see you guys again at 2 p.m.
Tesla's trying again, guys.
We'll chat then.
Oh, where's our intro, Ram? I'm not doing the whole thing unless you do the intro. There we go. There we go. What is up, beautiful people? Welcome to How to Trade. That is your boy.
Trying again, guys.
We'll chat then.
Oh, where's our intro, Ram? I'm not doing the whole thing unless you do the intro. There we go. There we go. What is up, beautiful people? Welcome to How to Trade. That is your boy Joey Options right there in the glasses, and I'm Sharif. And we're going to shout out a proper dang paradox. What's up to you, my man? Hope everything is well. Shout out to Drama Queen. Okay, Ram. We got Jameson. We got Bears versus Bulls and Rob EV. Shout out to Yannick and Mateus Lane, Scott H. Juan, Dang Padilla.
Order filled.